Hello everyone and welcome back to the Real Positive Girl podcast. My name is Sabrina. Happy Tuesday to you all, my friends. I hope that your day is starting out fantastically and I hope that it's going well despite if your day is just starting or maybe you're already in the middle of your day or you're towards the end of your day. Again, I do hope that it's going really well and that, most of everything that you plan to do is going in the direction that you wanted to. I personally feel that having the high expectation of everything going the way that you want it every single day is kind of over the top, and I know that sounds kind of harsh, but it's because life has surprises in it and so much chaos and different things happening every single day, and so you might be blessed with the opportunity to have your day go exactly as you planned it, but that does not mean that that can be applicable to every single day. So that's why I'm saying I hope that just about mostly a good chunk of everything that you wanted to happen did happen today. And if not, then I hope that it gets done tomorrow, the rest of the week. But again, happy Tuesday. I hope that you're having a good day, but if you're not having a good day, I always like to remind you to take the 5-minute reset, which is simply taking at least 5 minutes to be by yourself, to give yourself an opportunity to come back to baseline, to reset your mindset, to reset everything that's going on, to shake off any burdens, issues, problems that you are going through. In addition to that, take some time to maybe problem solve exactly what you're going through or how you can make things better, make the situation more feasible, just easier to handle, and figure out what discussions you need to have with whomever to get through it and move on. Also, I always encourage you to make a list of at least 4 things that you're grateful for. Those can be big things, small things, medium-sized things. You can be grateful for that thing from Amazon that you've been waiting to come in, or maybe you ordered something from a website 4 months ago and it's finally arriving at your doorstep, or maybe you were able to hop out to Target today and just pick up a couple things you didn't necessarily need, but you were blessed with the finances to be able to do that kind of thing. And I always want to remind you that things that you're grateful for, it doesn't have to be really big things, it doesn't have to always be food in your mouth, a roof over your head. However, those things are amazing things. We should always be grateful for those things, but we should remember that there are an endless amount of things to be grateful for because the range of how big and small those things can be is so great and so vast and amazing. And that means, again, you have a never-ending list of things to be grateful for, so you can never say, I don't have anything to be grateful for. There's always something, even if it's just being blessed with another day to conquer your personal world. But after all of that, before you end your 5-minute reset, I encourage you to make sure that you're able to walk away feeling at least neutral, if not positive, about the rest of the day, because you do not want to pass along your bad mood to anyone else. You do not want to be investing in the idea that misery loves company. You want to be able to feel neutral, and a lot of that has to do with the mindset shift that you will receive while making your gratitude list of at least 4 things, because gratitude is one of the best ways to shift your mindset to become a little bit more positive, to take a step back, change your perspective, realize that despite what you're going through, there's still so many amazing things to be grateful for, so many things to continue living for, to continue to be positive about, that can help you keep going and know that, part of whatever you're doing and engaging in is worth it. So it's just an encouragement to you, but please make sure that you're able to walk away feeling at least neutral, if not positive, about the rest of your day, and know that tomorrow is a new day. It's always a brand new day. However, you can make it a brand new day every single hour of the day, every single moment. You can take a reset as many times as you need during the day, the week, the month, the year, and just make it your own. You're in charge of how you feel about your day. But I do hope that you're having a fantastic day. Again, happy Tuesday. Just a reminder that this week we are talking about being brave, and today, Tuesday, we are talking about what's standing in your way. So let's go ahead and just jump right in. Many times we will want to be brave, but cannot figure out what is standing in our way of being able to. And I'm here to tell you that more often than not, it's yourself. And that's the honest truth. We might want to pass that blame on to other people in our life, whether that's our friends, our spouse, our parents, our children, our mentors, the people that weren't there for us, the people that led us in the wrong direction, all of these things, we might want to blame it on them. But honestly, it's all about you, because again, as I say often, you're responsible for yourself. You're responsible for the decisions you make, the choices that you go through with, the thoughts in your mind, how you receive things, how you conceive things, how you think about things. all of that, you are responsible for it. So by trying to shift the blame onto someone else because you aren't able to take the mature route to take responsibility for that, there's definitely going to be some work there. I know that sounds super harsh from the jump, but it's true. It's absolutely true. You have to, number one, take the responsibility for the fact that if you are unable to be brave in your life right now, it's because of you. And yes, you might say, well, Sabrina, I've been through so many hard things. I had a hard upbringing. I just had recent relationship troubles. Terrible trauma has happened to me. I understand that. I absolutely do. I have myself been through crazy, emotional, terrorizing trauma growing up. I understand what you're going through. However, if we continue to lean and use our past experiences as a crutch, we will never grow. We will never become our best selves. We will never continue to learn and expand and just become the better people that we know we are. We will not become brave if we're continuing to lean on our past experiences as if those are the best explanations, those are the best excuses for why we can't change, why we can't grow, why we can't just do new things. No, that's unacceptable. I'm here to tell you that it's unacceptable. I know that I just kind of went off on a tangent, but I was just feeling it, and I felt like it's very important to say. And I also think it's because today I was having a conversation with my husband, and he was talking about someone that we know and how they've gone through a hard life and we should give them a break. And I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm willing to give people grace for the things that they're going through and to, kind of take a step back and change my perspective about them, knowing what I know, if I gain new information, or just in general, try to give everyone grace despite whether I know a lot about them or not. However, I will never be that person that allows you to sit with the excuse that you've had a hard life and that's why you should be treated differently and that's why you should get a break and that's why you shouldn't have to do this, that, or the other, because that's an excuse. A lot of the times the hard things that we go through are the things that build us up, the things that make us strong, the things that make us those amazing people that we want to be seen as, that how we want to be respected. So we need to understand that, yeah, it may have really sucked when we're going through those times, but those times built us. They created who we are, and we cannot sit on those as a crutch, because if they did contribute to some emotional distress, some bad habits, and things that you do need to change, then even more so reason not to use it as an excuse. Honestly, you're like, okay, well, so much strength and courage came and all of this came from this experience that I had in my life, but it also gave me all these bad things that I want to get rid of. Why would you want to sit on that as an excuse? Why would you want to be like, oh no, I can't stop doing this behavior because it's just so ingrained in me from this trauma that I experienced? Like, no, you're just using that as an excuse. You're not taking a step back and realizing that so much change can come. It may not be easy, it may not be quick, and it may not be fun, but it's necessary and it's possible. And there's always people to help with you. Okay, tangent over. I just want to tell you, though, we need to stop using excuses as reasons why we're not doing things, especially being brave. I'm sure that has been an instance in your life where you were trying to pump yourself up and create some brave mindset to help you get through some upcoming scary things. But then you found yourself more scared in the end. And why is that? It's because of the additional pressure you put on yourself. A lot of times we feel like it's always people from the outside or whatever else feedback that we're receiving in our minds, when a lot of times it's things that we are planting in our minds. And we may not even realize that that's what we're doing. It can happen on such a subconscious level, especially if it's happening on the regular. You may not even realize it anymore. So I want to encourage you to be aware of that. Be aware that it's because a lot of times we're trying to instill that bravery and power inside of us so that we can push forward and try new things and become those strong new people. But a lot of times, we will try to do that, but then the added pressure just kind of shrinks us down and we become a puddle of nothing. So, that pressure that you bring on yourself can be seen in a few different ways, and I want to quickly go through those right now. So, first off, your mind will try to manipulate you. And I know that all three of the things that I'm going to go through today are not going to necessarily be brand new, cultivated information for you. However, I'm going to be able to break it down and really help wow, hopefully help you understand why these things are stopping you from being brave so that you can evaluate if those are the issues that you're having in your life and be able to push through and identify them and push through. So your mind will try to manipulate you. Absolutely. It's all those negative thoughts that you let live in your mind. It's the insults that you let yourself make against you. It's the words, opinions, and suggestions from other people that let dictate your life, and if you are allowing those things to rule the world that you live in, rule your mindset, then you're going to have to prep yourself for disappointment for quite some time. And I know that sounds harsh, but it's the honest truth, because you're letting someone else make the decisions. You're not making the decisions. And no matter what feedback you receive from others or plant there yourself, you have the choice to keep it or kick it to the curb. You absolutely do. No matter what, no matter how it got there, even if you planted it there, if someone else planted it there, even if someone that you trust, that you look up to, that you honor above most things, you have the choice. And when these thoughts continue to exist, you are allowing them to live and grow within your mind. So just think about the fact that if someone comes by and they're like, you're so lame, you are a terrible person, you're not going to be successful, you're not going to be able to achieve the things that you want to do, no one's going to ever love you, no one's going to ever care about you. So someone says those things to you and you're like, oh my gosh, they're so right. Like, take a step back and ask yourself, why are they right? Why are they right? Why are you accepting what they're saying? Like, is it because you trust them? Is it because you look up to them? Is it because they have some sort of status in life that you wish you had financially or relationshiply? That's not even a word, but you know what I mean. Within relationships and community, in the network, do they just have like a presence, an overall presence that draws people in, and that's what you want? Okay, so there's all these things about them that you admire. That doesn't mean that everything they say is true. That doesn't mean that everything that comes out of their mouth is gold and prime wisdom that you need to take in. And honestly, a lot of people will straight on, face to face attack you because they're jealous or they don't understand how to do whatever you're doing, or they see potential in you and they want to knock you down before you even have a chance to shine, before you even have a chance to step out and give it a chance. Or they also just don't want anyone to even think about tapping into their potential because they want to continually stay on top. They want to use fear as a way to crush people, as a way to bring people down. So if someone's going to come and tell you those things, like, there is no reason that you have to believe them. Just because they said them doesn't mean they're right, doesn't mean they're true, doesn't mean they really know anything about you. And even if they do know anything about you, or a lot about you, or a whole bunch about you, does not mean that it's true. Again, you get to make that decision. You get to either keep those opinions and those words and let them live in your mind and grow and continue to take over your mindset, or you can say, no, I'm not going to receive those things. Those things are not true. Those things do not reflect how I truly feel, how people that I super duper trust have said to me, it just doesn't work out. The ratio's not here. And I can understand when you're like, okay, well, Sabrina, what if someone does give me some advice? It's not harsh, but seems like it's good wisdom, it's good knowledge, it's a good direction for me to go, but you're not sure. Okay, well then, if someone you trust gives you that information and you're not sure what to do with it, you're not sure if you should keep it or kick it, then I suggest you find someone else that you really trust. A couple people, honestly, I would say 3 more people, if you are able to find that many people that you trust that much. I know sometimes people will have a lot of those people, or some people will have very few of those people. So it just depends. I would find anyone else, several people that you trust, ask them what they think about what was said, what was suggested, what was told to them, and kind of get a consensus if you truly can't make a decision right there or really decide if it's wisdom or not. And then once you kind of get a consensus and feedback from that, then you can make a decision. You still get to make the decision despite getting a small group of people to go over it with you. You still get to make the decision. So I want to encourage you to know that your mind will try to manipulate you with everything that's inputted into it, whether it's from you or from someone else. You still get to make the decision on whether it's true and right, and whether it's just in there to prevent you from actually striving and actually walking and stepping into the potential that you most certainly have. Okay, the second one. You let obstacles distract you. I just thought that was a great one because it's such truth that we let ourselves get distracted all the time. All the time. And, have you ever been on your way to doing something outside of your comfort zone but happily welcomed a distraction to prevent you from doing said thing? I have done this. Yeah, so that's you letting things get in your way on purpose. It's the fear that is allowing you to make excuses and purposely put things in your way and allowing you to get in your own way. A lot of times we will get in our own way. People will give us opportunities. People will show us the door. They will show us the way. They will literally hand things to us, and we'll find a way to destroy it. We'll find a way to get distracted and go on a different path. We'll find a reason why we can't do it, or we're not good enough, or, terrorize the situation on our own so that we do not have to step out in that new direction. We do not have to actually try something new, get uncomfortable, live in that uncertainty. And I understand that being in those places is really fearful. It's really scary. It's uncertain in the uncertainty because you don't know what's going to happen. You haven't spent time agonizing and having anxiety moments and worry moments. I'm very familiar with that, of trying to come up with 20 different scenarios for the way it's going to go and being prepared for each and every single one. Does anyone else understand what I'm talking about? I have this problem, and it's a problem. It's truly a problem. It's not a gift, because some people might be like, oh my gosh, you're just so organized, and you're just really thinking it all the way through, and you're prepared. And that's not preparedness. That is serious anxiety, panic, worry that is unnecessary. Now, maybe one or two different plans could come up if the thing goes a different way than you expected. But, even if it goes a different way and those two backup plans didn't work, that's fine. You just have to continue to have faith that you'll be able to push through, that you'll be able to figure it out, that you'll be able to lean on the people that are closest to you. If for some reason you do not have people that you can lean on, I get that, I've been there, then you have to lean on yourself at that time. You have to tap into the strength that is deep inside of you. But if you continually let obstacles distract you, you purposely put things in your way, thinking that you just need a little bit more time, or thinking that you are just not worthy of being brave and being courageous, stepping out into this new adventure that you could be a part of, you will eventually miss out. But also, at the point where you decide that you are ready to step out into that adventure, it might not be there. You might not get that opportunity again. You may not get as many opportunities as you're getting later if you continue to put it off until you're ready. And I understand there's going to be a point where you know for sure that you're not ready, and opportunities are going to pass you by. That's just real life. However, if you're continually doing that on the regular and always trying to sabotage all the good things, all the hopeful, happy possibilities that are coming your way, there's going to be an end to that train. Absolutely, there's going to be an end to that train. You can't have the expectation that those things are going to continue to roll in, no matter how amazing of a person you are. There's just an end. There's just a limit to that kind of stuff. And, and maybe the limit isn't going to be there forever. Maybe there'll be an opportunity for things to kind of kickstart again, restart, reboot, after you putting a little bit more time in. But I'm just saying, you might as well just strike while the iron's hot. Definitely use some wisdom, take some time to think things through before just jumping in blindly. However, don't put things in your way on purpose. Don't try to stay, in that comfort zone, or happily ask for distractions so that you don't have to think about it. Also, I feel like another part of letting things distract you is so that you can kind of avoid thinking about it, avoid thinking about the possibility of anxious situations, uncertain situations. You have, so you don't want to worry about it. You don't want to think about it. You don't want to actually even comprehend even the possibilities of amazing good things happening, because you're so afraid of how much time and energy and pain it's going to take you to get to those amazing places. Do you know what I mean? So I would just encourage you to really think about whether you are spending a lot of time distracting yourself or getting in your own way, and letting possible amazing opportunities go because you couldn't just muster up a little bit of courage that is deep down inside of you. Lastly, you stay in your comfort zone. And this is an obvious one, but you have to step outside of your comfort zone to be brave, because not doing that isn't exercising bravery, just your normalcy. And I'm not saying that normalcy is a bad thing at all whatsoever, because everyone's state of normal is their state of normal, and it's different for everyone. But you're not being brave. You're just being normal, regular, And one of the best benefits of stepping outside of your comfort zone is to discover new things you love, things you're good at, and as dramatic as dramatic as it sounds, things that could change your life, And I talked about it in the last part, talking about opportunities passing you by. And yeah, you could miss out on things changing your life. Those opportunities could just come by. Like, let's say that someone invited you to go to a party, and in there described everything about this party that you generally would love and enjoy, and you're like, no, I can't go, and you can't go. And then, at that party, you could have met someone that wanted to invest in your idea. You could have met the person that you're going to be with for the rest of your life. You could have met some really close friends. You could have, been able to network with someone that can get you further on your journey to achieving whatever goals that you have. Like, you just don't know. You don't know what possible opportunities that you are giving up by just staying in your comfort zone. And I want you to know that despite how harsh this may sound, but life will continue to pass you by if you stay hidden. It just will. It's not going to stop for you. It's not going to stop for anyone. You might feel like you are putting pause in your life or hiding from any of the bad things, but in reality, you are just letting opportunities pass you by. And just because you are putting yourself out there to experiencing anything new and anything that could disrupt your life doesn't mean it won't. So if you feel like you're hiding yourself away because you're like, nothing bad's going to happen to me, I'm not going to worry about any opportunities, that's fine, it won't come to you. This is not any, and you know what, like, it doesn't mean it's not going to get you. Like, and that sounds really negative, and I don't want it to be negative. This is not meant to sound negative, but to push you to take baby steps, then big kid steps, then grown-up steps out into the world and have faith you have the strength to push through. I just want you to know that hiding out in fear of what could be, or getting your heart broken, or breaking your spirit because you're going to be let down. You're going to be let down. Unfortunately, what's going to have to happen is you're going to have to come to terms with the fact that you will be let down many times in your life, many times. People are going to drop the ball. People are going to fall short of your expectations, no matter how low they are. People are going to be mean. People are going to attack you. People are going to try to distract you from you actually having bravery and being courageous and stepping outside of your comfort zone. Don't let those things deter you. Don't let those things push you back and keep you kind of placed and stuck in this little bubble, this little box. Don't let anyone put you in a box. Don't let anyone persuade you that you are not worthy of everything that anyone else has the opportunity to experience or try to do. You won't know if you're going to succeed at something until you actually try. And then even in that, the first time may be terrible, second or third, but maybe the fourth and fifth, maybe that'll work out. You just have to keep trying. You have to keep putting yourself out there. And yes, it can get so tiring, and you might feel at some point you might run out of energy. That's fine. Take a break. It's fine to take a break. I'm not saying that you have to be brave on the regular all the time. I'm just saying that you need to make it part of your regular life. You need to put yourself out there. You need to take chances. You need to keep yourself open for opportunities. Don't take every opportunity that is open to you. That is definitely good wisdom right there, because you need to actually think about things, think it through, talk to people that might be more experienced in that, get mentorship and really dive deep into those decisions, but just be open to those decisions, think about maybe saying yes, or figure out why you need to say no and what you need to look for in the future. Just realize that, your mind, your your obstacles, your fears of just needing to stay in your comfort zone, those are all things that are getting in your way of stepping out and having new opportunities, new blessings, new experiences, new growth opportunities, even if those things are hard, even if those things are not the funnest things, even if those things are last longer than you anticipated or bring about a different outcome than you expected. It's still amazing, and it's still a good opportunity, and it's still something that you should strive for, and you should evaluate if you're letting any of these things stand in your way of being at least a little bit brave, especially if you're just starting out. Okay, guys, that's all I have on what's standing in your way. Thank you so much for listening to the Real Positive Girl podcast. My name is Sabrina. I really hope that you enjoyed this episode, and if you did and you know someone else that would, I really encourage you to share it with them. I'd really, really appreciate it. I appreciate your support and just listening. Please come visit me over on Instagram. It's at Sabrina Joy Perozzo, and I would love to get a DM from you, or just to say, come by and say hi. I love hearing from you guys. If you want to tell me on Instagram or via email, which my email's in the description box for the notes for the show, I'd love to hear any feedback, any suggestions for the show. I'm there for your questions, comments, concerns, and prayer requests all the time. No matter what, I will respond, I promise. And I just love hearing, and I've only heard from like a couple people so far, which is totally fine. I feel grateful that even those people reached out, and I enjoy talking to people about what's going on in their lives and what they like about the show and what I can do better to serve you guys better, because I am here to serve you guys for sure. It's a passion of mine to share knowledge, do research, and help you as much as I can. But thank you so much for listening. I hope you guys have a great day. Again, check the description box for notes for the show, my email address, where to find me on Instagram, and my website. But until then, I hope you have an amazing day, and I hope you come back this week for the rest of the episodes. But until then, have a good one, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.